Oh, hello there. You guys, what's going on? Memes. We're back. We're back. I'm gonna post this and just let me let me get to my standard clerical duties that I was just doing that I totally forgot on. Uh, let's see. Where are we at? All right, this thingy right here. Again, just a working session. Wouldn't expect much. We might actually get into the spherical cow part. Yes, yes. Isn't that everyone's favorite part? Because that does seem like the most absurdly silly part. One, because characterized it that way, and two, well, apparently within physics, spherical cows are useful. All right, here. All right, boom. Don't mind me. Let's just you go. Right, my own little section. Yes, share your share your theory section or theory and good old Wolfram Institute community. I'm just logging all this stuff here. There we go. All right. Okay, let's get back to it. And here we go. Let's go. Notebook. Notebook number 20. All right. With class. Go. That's better. All right. Window. There we go. All right. Higgs mass team to the root of action. Blah, blah, blah. Finish that up with calculations, 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 calculations. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The big self interaction. We should actually just use the Fermi constant. Uh, okay, there's a link to the thing that gives us that. Be the square root of 2, reduce Fermi constants. Blah, blah, blah. For the standard model, it's mass energy of the Higgs divided by 2 Higgs vacuum expectation values. To actually use this, because that actually gets us closer. Let's make this a little bit more precise. Let's make this a bit more precise. Swap in the derived value for the Higgs self view. Oh, excuse me, for the Higgs vacuum expectation vector. Higgs vacuum station alpha is a their general the related 247. 247, yeah. 247 GeV 246.22 GeV. Roughly about. All right. So we're just going to put in that other expression because Wolfram Alpha does have all the digits. let's- so we need root 2, reduce Fermi constant. We're taking the inverse root of that. So, two of those. So within the Higgs vacuum expectation bias, all we're going to do is literally, we're going to need two parentheses. We're going to need square root of 2. Then we need the reduced Fermi constant. Okay. And we need to raise that to the inverse root, inverse square root rather. All right. Boom. Okay. So there. That is there. That should be a second one. Okay. I think that should do it. If it doesn't, you're gonna see a much different number. Okay. Because that. Enable dynamics, derp. Of course. Oh, okay. Very close. Oh, we got an extra digit of precision. We went from 0.13 to 0.129. And again, that's basically what measurement's giving us, so we'll get to that. But a pod, of course. Uh, Digits. Again, it's rounding. Just output the freaking thing. It's still gonna round. It's still gonna round, isn't it? Okay, fine. It doesn't round for that. Why want it to be computable? We're obviously asking too much. I'm just too much of a noob. I'm willing to accept that. No, you want. Uh, um, pull that up. Pull that up. I know. I know. Well, don't worry. We'll get it in a much prettier thing. Going through and just showing my work right now. We just swap this guy there into this guy. You there. Up. You there. There. Now it's nice and hidden. There we go. I know. I know. What a hack. Oh boy. Hey Bill, I see you there. Yeah, no, we're just finished. Have a meatball sub. Yeah, it's good to see. Oh, you were bored. I watched the Volcano Monster last night. I was obviously bored. Tired. I was trying to find was it Godzilla Raids Again or something. Most of the links on Hulu and stuff is like subscribe to HBO, subscribe to Cinemax. It's like, no, thank you. It's I've got a cartel on the Godzilla movies. And then I heard there was the American thing was supposed to be Volcano Monsters, and I looked to see that, and I'm like, then fine. But I found the 2025 free movie Volcano. It was all right. Wouldn't say it was anything special. Hey, K Show. My friends, welcome my friends. Yes. There we go. All right. Well, Charlie, you got to be careful. Got to be careful of that rhino lining. It seems like freaking armor to me. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Be wary of the fumes. All right. Let's go back a way. We have our Higgsy self-interaction value, which oh god, where I gotta cite something for that. Was it this one? Hold on. Okay, so it is here. So this is where I'm getting it from. Boom, boom. To basically, when you go to, I got it from Wikipedia, and then because we want to be diligent, trust but verify. This is the paper that Wikipedia links to. Coincidentally, this this paper, as we can see, it's from 2005. It was at least 7 years before. Okay, literally almost about 7 years or so before we had actually even a verification of a discovery of a thing that we attribute to be a particle that seems to be attributed with Higgs-like properties. I realize that was a whole bunch of gobbledygook there, but we want to be precise with our language. But basically, here's where we got it. So the V, I looked that thing up. I'm like, what is that? It's that new something like that. No, it's literally just V. I looked up what is the V in the vacuum expectation, but no, it's just a little italicized V. Is basically this. So this is just one over the square root of this. The minus sign is there. Got this in the parentheses, just literally square root 2 Fermi constant. Because it's a Fermi constant. In the standard model, this is lambda here. Okay, I'm not even delving into the two other parts there. At some point, maybe I will, but I'm like, all right, this is getting very complicated. I'm just like, again, if I'm going to claim something, I'm going to have to go through this in some form, but it's saying that the lambda 0 is equal to the lambda of the standard mod. Basically, this is its self interaction or self coupling. I don't want to say coupling, I just want to say self interaction value because that's the computationally reduced way that Wikipedia put it. I don't want to, you want to be careful to make claims saying, oh, that's going to do everything. It's like, yeah, you want to not get too far over your toes, so to speak, because if you're leaning forward, if you have something, it's a great calculation, have it there. You want to stand strong. If you're going to lead up further and further and further, maybe it's going to support you, but if you don't have all the stuff, then I don't know. All right. And again, this all might just be hogwash, so just take that with a grain of salt. Okay. So basically, here's what we're doing. That's the mass of the Higgs squared. Here's our two vacuum expectations values squared. So that's the little calculation we just did. Go back. Again, not try to deceive, but also the whole summation, everything up there. I still need to go through and going through doublets, blah, blah, blah. I got a lambda there, and a different lambda there. It's a problem for another day. Uh, oh, oh yeah, I fought my beard. Yeah, I lost. I lost a fight with a lawnmower. That's what happened, Jax. It's, I might also be a little bit more clear today because I don't have it's just a beehive of a beard popping out, and I don't need to worry about perhaps ingesting my own whiskers. Ugh. I didn't bring any clippers or anything with me when I was at the monastery, so I became a brute. All right, so let's move this here. Boom. All right, file. Save as. Let's say 21. I mean, have you really worked on a project unless you have like at least like 42 or so versions of it? Oh, save to cloud. Well, I'll update the notebook and the doobly doo once we finish this. The other notebook should be in the other one. This was literally just the lazy go to the default image of the nothing from the never ending story because well okay. Bu- 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 Can we do the little roll up thingy? All this. Ah, roll that. Re-roll it. Ah. Oh, yes, that's good enough. Thank you. All right. Well, this isn't enough to calculate what, at least I would claim the Higgs self interaction is. And to be fair, this is basically what we have with the standard model. It's Higgs go over here. Try to actually share this stuff. Keep me focused and keep it a lot more interesting than just man in yellow shirt yelled at screen. Again, there are other ways to do this, but I'm like literally just go to again Wikipedia, take it for what it's worth. But I don't know. Just I'm literally just going by what the it's saying for the standard model here. So I'm begging this. Bunch of stuff, blah 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 blah. Z boson. Too far, didn't I? God, I'm deep into the Lagrangianism. I just say Lagrangianism. I just combined Lagrangian with formalism. I'm like, where did I just get that ism from? Obviously, a Lagrangephobe. Gauge fields, coupling terms. Like maybe I think it was maybe after the coupling terms. Mass terms of the Higgs mechanism. All right, Higgs mechanism. It looks so simple. It's just one over root two. Then we got to include our terms over here. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend like I've got read that. That's the Yukawa. Again, there's so much stuff that I need to learn, and now it's not like you're going to learn this for theoretical stuff. It's like I claim, and again, could just be a whole bunch of nothing. Because most things end up usually being I'm nothing, and when I say nothing, I mean it's something. It just might not be relevant to what we're trying to do. That's all. Uh, this was the thing that drove me insane last week. I kept getting the wrong terms. I'm like, why is this coming out at 126 and a half? That was like one of the first Higgs measurements. I'm like, wait a second. It's because I put in the wrong numbers for that V. I put in 248 and 0.22 instead of like 246.2. User error. It's all right. These things happen. Uh, this wasn't the simulation out. It was for the vacuum. Where's the self interaction? Okay, here we go. Parameter. There. Okay, it was kind of towards the end. Below, above or below the Lagrange. Okay, it was below the Lagrangian. Uh, oh God, I missed it again. Where did it go? Up or down? Okay, it's in a different section. The parameters. Oh, free parameters. Okay, it's under a free parameter. Okay, so the claim is if there is some there. Basically, if we could nail down something that we have high confidence in that might provide some explanation about what might be going on. Long story, if we can nail it down into some closed form of mathematical constants, and we can latch onto that, we should be able to back propagate and calculate with higher precision other things such as the Planck mass. That is the goal. Because if anything, it's like, oh, the Higgs mass is set equal to the mass or the amplitude of the root of action or the root of action. What is that? The elementary unit of action divided by the reference of action. We take the square root of that, multiply by the Planck mass. Bada boom, bada bing. It's it's on. It's what's on the shirt here. It's the whole. We take H bar, the elementary unit of action, a thing that they say, oh, if you see H bar, some of quantum mechanics, because it's usually formulated with like e to the IH bar or something like that. Okay. So this is in the dimension of joule second. Energy times time equals act. All I'm literally doing is just dividing the dimensions out recklessly by dividing by joule seconds. So then you can take the square root of that, and you're not going to get fractional dimensions. Multiply by the Planck mass, and you coincidentally get good agreement with the most recent CMS measurements. In the most recent video, I think I posted it this week or last week, when Wolfram Alpha rounds up, it literally gives you 125.38 giga electron volts divided by c squared. You look at the CERN was the CMS experiment came out with their best precision yet for the runs of the Higgs boson, and they came out with a value of it's the same value, basically 125.38 giga electron volts divided by c squared. Yada yada yada. Um, to be fair, the prediction from that would be actually 125.376. An error of two, and that's six. But go up by two, go down by two. But for something that's expressed in giga electron volts, which is billions of electron volts, difference of 4 mega electron volts ain't too shabby. No, I'm ripping off Adam Sandler. I apologize. All right. That's what I said about Prince Charles, Mike. I'm like, he's aerodynamic. It's God, I'm going to hell. Let's see, man. All right. Oh, no, close up. Yes, close ups of the shirt. Gonna need to buy some more and everything. Well, here's the interesting thing, Bill. When we say it's a well known suggested property, again, that paper I showed was from before we had even had the experimental supporting evidence for the discovery of something that appears to have characteristics of the predicted Higgs boson, that elementary scalar boson that suffuses all things, allegedly. It's, again, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a meat bag, just trying to do our best. But the weird thing is the standard model prediction is it should have a value of like one. That 0.13 or like 0.129-ish number, it's a little bit above zero. Um, that's basically what because they're doing the same calculations, or at least once they have all the data refined in a way, they're using this formula right here, where it's so as we can see, it's like the Higgs self-coupling strength lambda is the mass of the Higgs squared over the two vacuum expectation values squared, which is approximately 0.129. That's what we got. Okay, like this is the measurement. The standard model believes it's should be about one, and I think they have a slightly. And again, most of the things with the standard model are current measurements, usually within about a sigma or so of it. And again, it's 5 sigma deviation is where, yeah, it appears to be some new discovery. So, um, but the thing is, this information in and of itself, this is enough. Just even just going up, just Wolfram Alpha 0.129. And what are we going to get for that? It's like, okay, about 1/8, maybe pi over 25. Not really. I mean, that looks cool. That looks cool, but I mean, what does that mean? E squared is kind of cool. We got a pi that's actually not that far off from what we're claiming it is, but I I can't really get more information if it's like a two or a five here. But now I'm just inserting data. I'm just taking a guess. I could put data in here and just be like, oh, I'm looking for a closed form, but can I say that with confidence? This is really cool. That's pi square. That's algebra 32. It's the exponent for the Planck temperature, but like, maybe it is the answer. I don't know. But we're going to attempt. I'm just gonna walk you all through the process that I use, and if somebody has a better process, and basically, if we could explain more with less, that's the big thing. 'Cause right now, this is just numerology. I'm just throwing in some random things in here. It's like just trying to like take a shot in the dark, looking for a needle in God. The haystack that's like 10 to 26 meters wide. I mean, good luck. That's kind of cool. But you see, it's like three digits of precision can't really. The thing that I learned from that is at least, again, I'm just using Dad's method in Wolfram Alpha, just the technique to look for potential closed forms. I'm saying these are the answer, but we're postulating potential ways that if we could find a very elegant and beautiful, dare I say, answer, and again, people like to harp on, I think it was Paul Dirac or one of the OGs and from the early 20th century was like, more important to have beauty than experimental or precision or something. Now it's like, you hear that, you're like, that's a load of BS. That must be why. Pardon my French, but it, it's like, okay, we need to hit it. But then again, it's if you add in so many epicycles and you're complicated, like if I want 1.295, just pick one of the, it's obviously 33 pi over 800. But the next digit's a nine, so that should easily be a six. So it's obviously 259 divided by 2000. Now I have no idea what that might mean, but it gives the right answer. Is it elegant? I think it's the concept of when he says more than you can fine tune and refine and add all these extra epicycles, so to speak, to get it to work. Does that tell you a story? Whereas if this was 1 over 2 pi, well, that sounds like a rotation, maybe a cycle or something like that. I think that's what it means. Now, ultimately, it's like you're going to want to have at least agreement with experiments. Ultimately, over time, if there's some there, you actually want agreement with what you're saying. Because again, occasionally experiments can be wrong, or maybe there's some analysis in there, or maybe there was some uncontrolled for a factor because we're trying to account for the potentially infinite number of factors that could potentially go into experiment. That was drilled in my head when we were learning the scientific method, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I was lied to all through school. I'm still a little unruly about the electron as a point particle, but here, there, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, tell me it's a charge gradient. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, welcome, Collie and Poindexter. So, yes, yes. Two surfaces. It looks like maybe a double cover as two single-sided surfaces. And again, I'm just parroting that from Thad. But da, da, da. Uh, uh, well, I think map is pretty rad. That's that's my conjecture. Okay, let's go back. Oh, Bill, the interesting thing is, depending on which, apparently, the Higgs self interaction is highly, depending on the mass of the Higgs and stuff. The ranges they currently have, I think it's now somewhere between either like negative 1.2 or like negative 3 to about 7 or so on that scale, rather than this like 0.129 thing. So like there's still a variation there. It's just what I recall going through that. Okay. All right. So if we have that value there, okay, we're actually going to have to go through and actually calculate the Higgs using a little bit more information. All right. Feeling the Higgs mass. We'll delete that. So we're using the inspiration from alpha here. So we're literally taking the ratio because the whole thing that kind of got me down this path was just because perhaps being a wee bit spectrumy and or going down enough Wolfram holes and hearing words and basically, long story short, is once I saw like the mass of the Higgs divided by the Planck mass squared, I noticed this 1.05 times 10 to the minus 34, and I'm like, that looks a little familiar. But that's probably because the first three significant digits and corresponding magnitude power is of h bar, Planck's reduced constant. Um, and again, this has dimensions of Joule seconds, so the dimensions of angular momentum are elementary viscosity. These dimensions here. So mass, it's an area per unit of time. So I'm like, what if that happened to be true? And there's a little bit more to that because we're using the inspiration through alpha. And one of the reasons why I just did that was because you take the inspiration from alpha is this right here. Basically, long story short, is alpha, the fine structure constant, that 1 over 137-ish thing, gives you a dimensionless number. That's basic logic. Charge squared on the top, it outputs a dimensionless number. That means all this jazz here, at 4 pi c epsilon naught h bar, must be also be charge squared. What is this charge squared term? Oh, look, it's the Planck electric charge. So that means we can computationally reduce the fine structure constant to elementary charge over Planck charge, square the whole thing. Oh, look, this number and that number are the same. Well, basically, we take our original first expression, divide it by the second expression, and oh, look, they appear to be computationally equivalent. And also, we delve into a little Professor Feynman's quote from was it Cargo Cult Science here. He's saying that a lot of folks like to refer to it as the inverse of its square, about 137. Apparently, 137 is quote unquote more sexy, so to speak, than uh, than 1 over 11.7. Whatever. Oh, yeah. Let us continue. Hmm. Is the Higgs momentum of the small component of the I'm not going to pretend like I know it. Listen, I can do that H bar equivalent thing and the little conversion factors for what's going on. As far as the Higgs contribution, it's the closest I got from Thad's model is if you take a J1 and J2, if if you square them both, um, and then I think what is it? If you do J1 divide by J2, and you do the same squared thing, you get about I think 1841 as a ratio. It's kind of close to 1836, the proton electron ratio. It's like 7 mega electron volts off or something. It's or no, it's 1836. So it's like five or so dimensionless units off. I don't know. I think I tried to add up the quarks and they either are not quite enough or a little bit much more. And I didn't spend a huge amount of time on it because it's again, it's these are things for the reader or the viewer that feel free to figure out stuff if this is useful to you at all. By all means, just thoughts are nice. why anytime if I'm talking about cosmological model, a lot of times I get to give Kylie a shout out because I'm like, if I run the simplest thing, I'm trying to incorporate it in an HF8 or a TAD style model. I basically come out with the simplest way is basically just you condense everything down to about the size of a neutron. You output a bunch of neutrons. You get all the building blocks. That's if we start with and we just assume that what is the one fundamental component other than our field configuration that might be going on? Well, if we let there be light, then perhaps neutron decay cosmology is the way forward. I think it explains a lot. Um, but that's assuming there's no Big Bang nucleosynthesis and stuff like that. And at that point, you're kind of like, I have layers to the madness, layers to the madness. And again, I'm not going to cast away the standard model unless I have a better explanation that isn't going to break everything else. And even if you break everything else, do you have a solution for everything else? Because you can say all these things, and that's fine. I'll have certain folks occasionally. So I'm like, oh, that's fascinating. They recognize the term. Like, oh, hey, send me your stuff. I look at it, and some of the things like, well, you're claiming the defined structure constant, and 1/137 gives you a better answer than what you're saying right here. It's like, well, okay, well, be careful getting over two over your shoes. Satire's fine. Just some people I think get a little bit too serious because one of the things that Stephen Wolfram said to me is like, you can't be overly invested in whatever model or anything you have because if it doesn't pan out, you're gonna get very frustrated, you're gonna get angry, and you're gonna let it bother you, and that's gonna affect your life. And then what's the point in that? He's like, because it's like, yeah, but a lot of things are wrong, so it's okay to be wrong. Try to do better, that's all. Yeah, I'm gonna tend to agree with that for a number of reasons. Some of which may not be fully articulated publicly. Um, we'll get there. But basically, we're just doing this. So basically, an elementary thing over a Planck thing squared gives us an important coupling constant. So, as Planckian boundary, 10 to the minus 17 magnitudes difference. Some may say 17 missing layers of reality is mattowed down from PBS spacetime positive. Perhaps, perhaps if we take that ratio and we square it, get the first couple of digits of h bar, the elementary unit of action. Oh, the wait. So the Higgs boson, an elementary scalar boson. So we've got an elementary thing divided by a Planck thing squared, and we get an important thing out. Hmm. Okay, so we have this mass entry of the Higgs particle. Blah blah blah. Oh, we're just gonna have this all just be Wolfram stuff, but we're kind of so. No, well, we can exchange it. A deeper dive. Oh, so we had one section. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I'm very indecisive on things. I could easily talk my way out of different things where it's like, all right, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It's okay to be wrong. If there's one thing I've learned in life, we all make mistakes. How we handle them is what defines. Let's. All right. We need to go to code. Ta-da! Don't mind me. Oh, look, my thing is moving around, but it's not even. All right, so wow. It's bright. I turned my gamma up. Just yes, grab that guy. All right. Now, come in here. There we go. For this place costing. Oh, I want the plank mass. Oops. Oh, well, we needed you anyway. Hold on. Nations easily available. God, no. Um, mass. Like a picture, it will last longer. Maybe. What is even a picture? What is getting into the difference between something and then a copy to something? There. So, and then this guy go here. Personifying. I have assigned a gender to the plank mass. And I'm obviously putting him right there. I mean that H bar is for. I don't know. Uh, yeah. You there. Very more detailed. This. Let's plug in all the known. Again, plug in the most recent update to date values of the mass. I mean, H bar is defined within the Wolfram language, so we don't even need that. But mm, to give a few more significant digits. Oh, right. Now we need to compute. I'm gonna take AG. All right. What we're gonna do is God, I should number these equations. We'll go back and do that after. If I'm gonna start implementing, yeah. Get it squared away, then we'll organize that later. That's uh, before we go conjecture that the squared relationship between the Higgs mass and the Planck mass would equate to the dimensionless magnitude of star. That gives us we or kilograms by 2.176 or 34 times raised to the minus 8 kilograms squared. That should be set equal to or divided by joule. Let's see. I don't think we need to add in extra stuff. Give us a few more digits. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, before. 2, 4 ones. 3. It gives us at least an extra significant digit. There's uncertainty there. Here are our results. We should get about, may or may not have done this before, should be 125.376-ish. We got to multiply by. I'm not going to fight. No, it gives positive and negative roots. And again, yes, we'll turn this into more pretty things at some point or another. Now, oh, our work. Beautiful data. We want solution 4 and 5. Code, boom, boom. Roll it up, roll it up. All right. We just need form. I know it's doing now. Weird. Just want all unformatted data. No idea why it's doing that, though. But Charlie doesn't. I just delete all this. There we go. Uh, all right. Let's scan. Oh, there. Oh, and save and take ma mass term and flying it by x squared 2 point. Sorry, figure 2.230503 times 10 raised to the minus 25 kilograms c squared. Content. Don't worry about any computer. Will take so much. G actual there. You. Content, dimensions. Mhm. We want the second term there. Care about the Higgs thingy. Higgs, beautiful. Mhm. Last there. Preparation 5. There we go. Clearly been defined. Let's say 2. Burn. Excuse me. Mhm. Significant digits. Yeah, because before we only put out the 22350 235. Okay, so we got two more significant digits, and again, there's an error of 2 here, and we're going to need to go through that now. Here's what we're going to do. Let's see. The Higgs mass and the Planck mass do seem to come together, Bill, around you take the square root of h bar at the dimensionless magnitude. It matches it really dang good. And again, maybe it's nothing, but I don't know. How does the thing, does the Higgs get? And I say this because I still need to go through more. And then again, I get told you should read Matt Strassler's book, Ways of Impossible Sea. Okay, I didn't read it. I listened to it while traveling across country, and I'm like, kind of went through some of it, and it's just like, okay, just oscillation fields on top of fields on top of fields. What are these fields? Do they exist in something that's really exists? I don't know. Perhaps an elementary scalar that suffuses all things that was said to may or may not have crystallized at some point and has a vacuum expectation value of 246.22 giga electron volts, but it's only about 125.37 or 8-ish, depending on which experiment and stuff you take. I don't know. I just look for Occam's razor. This seems to be the simplest thing that I don't see a lot of people talking about because remember, a good physicist says h bar equal to what? I'm not a good physicist. Never completed a full physics class in my life. You shouldn't listen to a dang thing coming out of my mouth. God. Imagine, I mean, that would be like a Godzilla film, like winning Best Special Effects at the Oscars or something. I'm not just beat all. All it is this. I just took inspiration from fine structure constant. All that fine structure constant jazz, you can literally just take elementary charge, an elementary thing, divided by Planck charge, square it. When you just divide that into your normal definition of the fine structure constant, you get one. I just literally did that instead of elementary charge and Planck charge. I just did. Well, the Higgs boson has a mass apparently. That seems to be a surprising thing. So we just do the, an elementary thing over a Planck thing, except instead of elementary charge, we're doing the Higgs mass, and then instead of Planck charge, we're just doing the Planck mass. We take the same square value. Here's the big assumption: we return a dimensionless value of 1.05 times 10 to the minus 34. The first three digits and everything of h bar without dimensions. So here's the claim. What if that was true? What would be the consequences? That's the big conjecture right there. And again, maybe it's nothing. I shouldn't have even done this with only three significant digits there. And then was it, I think, the bad boy of science or something like that. He had a different value for the Higgs mass. I'm like, well, this guy literally works on the CMS experiment. So that's that was a more recent measurement. That got to about four or so significant digits. And then when you have the most recent, the disagreement literally comes in the sixth significant digit that we haven't measured yet. So again, since I'm not a career physicist, I can say a crazy thing and I can easily be wrong and nobody cares. The the terrible consequence of the inverse of that is, God, what if some schmuck like me actually found something interesting? God, I'm sure nobody here feels that way. And again, I could be totally wrong. It's could be experiments tomorrow that come out. No, no, this is not it for these reasons. That's fine. Okay, I'm not married to it. Uh I didn't put it in a shirt though, so I don't know. Does this place on a shirt make you married to it? I don't think so. I don't think there's any legal vows involved. Uh, okay, so we have that. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a clip because I'm a nicotine fiend and I'm fiending. So we're not gonna finish yet. I'm just gonna play a little interlude. So I need to do the error too. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do that. So if and the which one should we play? Let's do this guy. Just literally do the most recent video. Oh God, I don't know how to click on my own things. God. Professional YouTuber. This should give me almost 6 minutes to do this. No. Um. No. There we go. Where can I have a quick intermission? And then we're just gonna play this screen. That's the Higgs energy density. Balance the cosmological constant. We'll be right back. Uh, We'll be right back after these messages. We'll be right. I butchered that. Apologies. Yeah,
Little cow here. Oh, oh. So if we take the vacuum energy density, we divide it by this spherical god cow, we get approximately 1.1 times 10 to the minus 52. Okay. I look at this and I'm like, wait a second. Why does this number look so familiar? Coincidentally, the cosmological constant, just to spell it right, small. If you divide this, oh, excuse me, we need to do this the other way. Inversing matters. So, no, actually, this was the right way. So, basically, we get this number. This is a dimensionless number. I was doing it right the first time. Cosmo is approximately 1.1 times 10 to the minus 52 reciprocal meters. So inverse meters. So square meters with a 1 over it. Okay. What the heck is going on? This is why I kind of wanted to present this, because it's like, okay, at one point, little background to the story, one point, probably, I don't know, maybe about a month ago, Professor Sean Carroll put up one of his solo Mindscape podcasts, and in a row, he was talking about the problems within physics. He's like, well, you have the hierarchy problem of the Higgs boson. Why is it so much smaller than the Planck mass?
The cosmological constant is, or apparently looks like, 10 to the minus 120, its natural value. So maybe it's not the cosmological constant that we're observing. Maybe the cosmological constant really is zero. Maybe we were right in some weird way, that there is some mechanism that we haven't yet invented that sets the vacuum energy equal to zero. And what we're seeing in the acceleration of the universe is some field that has an almost constant energy, but not quite. Okay? Here's the problem with that idea. We would call this dynamical dark energy, or quintessence, sometimes it's called. The problem is the same as the problem with the hierarchy problem in the weak interactions. The Higgs boson field is a field that pervades all of space, and its mass is small compared to the Planck mass, right? Its mass is 10 to the minus 16, something like that, the Planck mass. And we say that's a small number. Masses in particle physics, under the rules of effective quantum field theory, tend to be big, tend to be driven up to very large numbers, okay? And so the hierarchy problem is just that there's a factor of 10 to the minus 16 between the Higgs mass and the Planck mass. If you have a dark energy field that is making the universe accelerate, it needs to be changing very slowly. Otherwise, we would have noticed a long time ago. If it were changing rapidly on cosmological scales, that would have been easy to detect. It wouldn't even have acted like dark energy. The whole thing that dark energy needs to do is to change slowly, so that its energy density is approximately constant and it can make the universe accelerate. So if it's an ordinary, not weirdly atypical field filling all of space that has some kind of mass, we talk about the mass of a field. What we really mean when we say that is the mass of the particle you would make by jiggling that field. That's what we mean when we talk about the mass of the Higgs field or something like that. It's the mass of the particle you would make.
Again, I would claim that maybe there's a reason for that. That aside, just literally just putting in the words on Wolfram Alpha, and again, it doesn't have the most up-to-date measurements, but to first level rough approximation, why the heck should the one, to our knowledge, something that we believe to be the Higgs and have Higgs-like properties, and that's an elementary scalar boson that we believe, according to the standard model, that suffuses all of our realm. It just seems to be everywhere. It seems to help give mass to other particles. That is what we believe it does, and we believe it's everywhere. If we turn it into a literal spherical cow, it has a ratio dimensions that comes out to be the magnitude of the cosmological constant. If you divided these into each other, you would basically get a difference of, depending on which one you divide it into, meters squared, which is an interesting thing because as we played around with some toy models, that seems to be the difference between different ratios. It's just meters squared. Guys, I need your help. What's going on here?
Dead air. You gotta love it. Oh, wait, no. Don't leave studio. Wrong thing. All right, remove that. All right, apologies. All right. Now that we're properly nicotined up. Da, 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 da. Uh, oh, no, you can just do this and that. It depends on how you look at it, but Sean Carroll says 17, but you just go to Wolf. Window, boom. Wolfram, Higgs mass, blank mass, 10 to the 17, 10 to the minus 17 difference. Even with just the first three digits and stuff, it's the ratio it comes out to be. Uh, that's assuming that things work, so that's what I'm basing it off of. And again, I'm happy to say, yeah, sure, that should work. So, all right, moving on here. Uh, 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 Book say. Generally, what I do is say I'm trying to match these things as well as I can within one standard deviation there. And again, maybe it's something else. Maybe we're just totally wrong. But I don't know. Wouldn't that just beat all? It's a little expression. Just solve for X kilograms, throw in your Planck mass, and again, this variance, I think it's about 2.4. We're going to go through the error there and that. So we're going to add 2.4, I'll bring an 8, and then it'll go down to 2.0, the last there. Ultimately, we're going to have the last significant digit here, or that in that 6, it's going to go up by 2 or down by 2, because I've done that analysis before. So, as in science, why our error bars matter. How often do we hear about the error bars? I'll take a page out of Professor Keating's book. So, let's just blank this right now. Okay. All right. So, we look one deviation. We got a 2.4 there, so we're going to add that. Same thingy that we had there that I just deleted. Bad. Do the same thing here. We're going to solve kilograms. And just for note, again, I'm not always great with the chat. I think it lets you actually update things in the comments here while we're on live stream. So if you'd like me to take a look at something, it's probably more likely if it's in a comment, because I basically have my comments covered with this notebook right now. So kilograms over It'd get weird if I coughed 2.17. 2.4, make sure it's right. 2.1764. It's gonna be 5.8. 8 times 10 raised to the -8 kilograms. You're gonna square that equal to h bar, the elementary unit of action, divided by joule seconds, the reference of action. Okay. We got results. Okay. Oh God, I got an error. See, this is why we save all the time. All right. No, I should have saved it right there. Why we save often. Right. Okay. Now, okay. 1/3 deviation. Do the same thing. Uh, X kilograms divided by 2.164. 1764, 2.1764. And we need times 10 raised to the -8 kilograms equal to h bar, elementary unit of action, divided by the reference of action, joule seconds. There. All right. Cute. All right. Pull it out. Oh, this is wrong. Sorry. And square it. When you're off by many orders of magnitude, it's usually a sign. I realized. Oops. You know, God, the old mistake. I'm like, wait a second, where's my parabola? Uh, odd parabola. This dude, and output our expression. Okay. Um, we want this guy. Okay. Make the wild assumption. Mm, ah, oh, did the wrong thing. Oops. Uh, get them cats. Bad. Odd contents. That is probably a thing to do before just randomly running around deleting things. Solution. Run. There we go. Again. Oh, wait. Because I adjusted it. I'm like, why is this number different now? Wait, because I threw in different data. Uh, mm, I this guy. So, won't be similar to what we had up there. Expression thing, expression plot, expression thing, expression plot. Oh, wait, I'm not even sharing my screen. Sorry. God, I'm so terrible. Save. Back window, boom. Okay. Literally taking the same thing here. Master multiplied by c squared. All right. 2.235 6 times 10 raised to the minus 25 kilograms. I know a lot of folks like using AI and everything. Feel free to trust but verify, because a lot of times I'll have it do some basic math things like, okay, so that's just wrong or it's incorrect there. So it's again, Ed and Professor Wolfram both encouraged me to use Wolfram Alpha as a tool. Again, I ain't anybody's dad. You do you. But I'm just saying that if you can actually go through and Wolfram Alpha, it really does help one's intuition. And again, my mathematical friends will say, no, you must do it with a pen and paper. That's sure, sure. Again, I'm trying to do the happy medium here. To a physicist level of rigor, whatever that might mean. I'm invoking the Professor Wolfram. uh, Alpha results. As we can see, 125.378 GB, so we went by 2. From our uncertainty, we're going to want the dimensions. Output, come on. Dimensions. Expression there. We want the number 2 answer from this. We're going around and deleting things. Oh, Dave. Yeah, dimensions. We want the last answer for this dude. Beat the rest of these guys. There we go. All right. High end. Visual expression. Boom. Boom. There. Save. Now, -1 standard deviation. Now, look at Minus one standard deviation. So we're going to take what we did before. Uh, X. Same thing. X kilograms. Kilograms. Divide by 2.1764. Should be 20. 2.1764. Then minus 24. And the last two, oh, excuse me, equals 0, 1. Oh, it equals 10. That's there. Okay, so it'll be 10. Actually, just do it here. Okay. Answer. There we go. All right. Roots. Put our parabola. Our expression. Put our computation. S thingy in there. Through. All right, so then we went down by 2 there. All right, cool. Yeah, expressions. Cool. Cool. Expression. Uh, All right, put that guy there. All right, so we went down by 2 in the last number. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. So the sixth digit. All right. Give us a value of Dave. Don't mind me. Be 2.23501 is 10. Raise the negative 25 kilograms. C squared. All right. Results there. Okay. All right. So basically, very, very dang close to the same thing. Dimensions. The error is typically the greatest thing. I mean, you can adjust. Why is it so incompatible units? I don't even know what to think about that. Yeah, very strange. Occasionally, hey, it ain't perfect. Works really dang well. All right, want our second term there. Mm, That we want the stern. All right, boom, boom. Delete that over there. All right, output. Oh, sorry, like too much. All right, approximate mass energy of the Higgs. All right, so we're at least on the ballpark. Dimensions of energy. The last term over here. All right, output. See. All right, so it went down by 1 electron volt approximately there. Cool. Oh, uh, stretch. Oh, pardon me. Okay, basically what we do. Delete file. Save as. XSI 23. We have all our permutations. L. Save the cloud. Oops. Again, I'm gonna post an update for doobly doo below for anybody that wants this after we finish up. Feel free to play around, to explore. Let me know why I'm totally wrong. Because again, statistically, most things are wrong then. Probably totally wrong. At the same time, I did watch a Japanese Godzilla movie win an Oscar for Best Special Effects. I'm just saying, somebody grew up as a lifelong Godzilla fan and just fully accepting the dude in the suit and the just somewhat cheesy effects and just loving it growing up. I'm like, I watched a Japanese Godzilla movie when that special effects. I'm like, don't that just beat all? It also gives me hope that sometimes maybe it's just better to be lucky than good. I don't know. Yeah, actually, no, I'm not going to say it's better to be lucky than good. I've just been told that. I just be the luckiest son of a gun in the world. Really? Oh, all right. So, again, I'm gonna have to put actual words. We'll put these into nice little pretty charts. I'm slowly getting better at that. Of like nice tables. We'll have all the data laid out. Probably don't need all these extra thingies here. I'm putting out more information than I'll probably need. So when I can go through and streamline this, I'll have all the data right there. Go through, do the interpretations, make my essay post in the next X weeks or two. Because you want to put out something pretty and people can actually understand. It's again, it's like I got nothing wrong with the Institute for Advanced Study, but it's occasionally sometimes someone's like, "Everybody got a Lagrangian here," and I realize I'm probably just going to be doing the same thing at some point because now certain Lagrangian is basically you're accounting for the energy of a system. Believe I think the Hamiltonian is what difference potential kinetic. So no. Again, not a quantum mechanic or licensed quantum mechanic, just a reckless driver here on the internet. uh, we can see that then the standard, the deviate, one standard deviation, the Planck mass leads to a of 2 in our last in the next significant digit. There we go. Because the error is how far it deviates from that six there. That's only one there, but the other way actually did have a deviation of 2. And that's generally what that had taught me. You take the largest deviation there, and that's what you account for. Yeah, now you can do some things where it's, oh God, what was it? It's like some of the new dark energy things. It's like 76 minus 6. So it gets it right within the the standard Hubble constant without breaking it, or perhaps plus 8, which then seems to go well beyond 5 sigma of the cosmological constant. Who knows what's going on? Maybe it's constant, maybe it varies, maybe it's just an illusion. I don't know. Before we break everything, let's at least make our arguments in the most clean way possible that other folks are willing to accept. All right. Gonna have to go through this. Note that the digits need the symbol for the plane. Uh, and C then defined the 2019 redefinition of fully listed in the language. That's, that's all we know. Save. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Mm, da-da. Sound like I'm from Canada. Oh, thank you. Thank you, mate. Oh, of Australia. I mean, sorry. All right. Where are we? The Ancient One. Yes. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you. Now, hey, just continuing to try to science the good fight. And occasionally, when listening to people rage out on things on the internet, especially culture war related, I say, you know what, you're totally right. We should legalize dueling. You need to destroy the folks, or weird. I don't see. There were certain terms you used to see FJW all the time, and it went away. I wonder why. And complaining about cancel culture seemed to do a quick flip. Oh my God, who could have seen this coming? Uh, I don't know. I usually just end with legalized dueling, in my opinion. Usually, the people that are getting sick and tired of this stuff are for it. Some of the largest complainers seem to just dismiss it. I wonder why. No reason. It's not like I'm getting ready to make a side channel for just shorts, just agreeing with one random culture warrior day and like, so and so is right. We need to legalize dueling. This is an outrage. Let the dog catch the car, or the coyote catch the roadrunner is the best, better analogy. Of course. Oh, I remember you. Here's the thing. I might not always have the different things. I've confused a bunch of folks on the internet before. Was it like the master of the TDS and stuff like that? I confused him with so many people, and then he started to blow up, and it's like, I remember who you are now. Mostly because it's based upon Total Defense Shogun, a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Once it was explained to me, I'm like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh, I like that. Not saying it's a good reason. A reason. Ah, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that was the original thing. We threw in more digits. That's a straight blank mass. This is this value here. Sweet. Let's look at -1 standard deviation. Goes there. Standard deviation. We can see that using the oops, using the Planck mass with additional two digits, including owns a value of 125.376 EEV. Hey, there we go. Let's go. Error. One standard DVR. One standard deviation from the Planck mass leads to an error of two in the six. Cool. Save. Oh, where? God. No, when I publish it, it ends up reformatting and adding some more spaces. So use a given mass via the gravitation constant big G. If we compute the magnitude of the strong force using the following expression, plugging in the Planck mass for our mass term, big G is equal to 1. That's mostly limited by big G. The general colloquial magnitude of the strong force, if it can be the magnitude of the gravitational force using the following expression, plugging in the electron's mass term. 10 to the minus 45 times the strong force. Strong force is us. 10 to the 44 times the magnitude than the force of gravity. Get the magnitude of gravitational force using plugging in the Higgs boson mass. Again, we get out magnitude of basically h bar. Dave. Of course, now the reader almost certainly has questions that this technique yields a dimensionless number, but the elementary unit of action, h bar, has the units. Specifically, mass, area, divide by time. Or this thingy right here. Quantum elementary viscosity. If we use a naive hack, so to speak, we can divide the elementary unit of action, h, by our expression. And oh, looky, we got 1 in the value of joule seconds, approximately. What if we assume? I think this was the original thing that I had scaled it by. I looked at this, I'm like, oh, what if it was 1? Because I think I literally just put the units of joule seconds next to it. So I'm like, all right, this should equal 1 joule second. What would it be? 10 to the minus 7 erg seconds. The erg, the most underrated or underappreciated, depreciated units, I claim. Joule second, which is the reference of action, that h bar is scaled by in units of joule seconds. Joules per hertz, energy per frequency, or energy divided by frequency. That's also something to keep in mind. Unless our previous example, where we simply insert the joule seconds term, we output it, or something that looks a lot like it via dividing our expression by the same elementary unit of action. On first examination, you also thought this was a simple error and had to check upon double checking results and looking more deeply, later section, a next thought might be perhaps this is a simple relationship between conserved quantities, i.e., any input value should return in 1 in the referenced unit basis. This does not appear to be the case, so we do this for the top quark. Again, this is the closest thing here, so if we're computing its gravitational force, so to speak, got big G Newtonian gravitational constant. The top quark mass, we square it, divide by h bar c, and then we just take that and we're dividing that in to h bar, because that's got the units of joule seconds. We're dividing it out. See, because essentially, if the Higgs output that, I was thinking, well, if we just input this, maybe it'll just be something similar or whatnot. No, it's not. It's at least within our given unit basis, our coherent system of units. The yeah, yeah, the Higgs mass is the only one that comes out to be about 1 within the reference of action. It's the 1. All right. So we get about a little over half a joule second. For the quark, 1.89 for the Z boson, W plus or minus, mass. 2.433 joule seconds for the electron. 6.02 times 10 joule seconds for the proton. All right. A lot. A lot of joule seconds, about 18,000. And then again, a little less than the proton when we used neutron mass. This is not by no means an exhaustive analysis, but the author found it interesting that our one unique scalar boson returned near unit results. Again, one may argue that this is a contrived technique, and yes, it is. Well, they both method, including the elementary unit of action H, and returning a value of approximately 1 in the reference of action was intriguing enough to continue. We're going to do the same thing. All right. Uh, if we assume the approximate 1 joule second output uh, assume the 1 joule output was significant, then we may conjecture that it should be precisely 1. When doing this, we can then and then as before solve for kilograms. Save. Doing this. So I'm gonna do h bar divided by gravitational constant kilograms squared divided by h bar equals 1. Cool. What did I do wrong? No. Okay. So, no, it's a lot. We don't have a parabola. That is a square term, but it's yeah, it's giving the correct answer. But then again, the other thing prettier. They shouldn't all be roots. The roots. Why are all the negative? Right or wrong? It's very strange. God, how many roots is it giving? Okay, this God. Wow. That's, I think it might be having a slight brain fart. I think it needs to give me that many roots. This is very often I just use the website. I mean, it's not really conveying much more. Okay, expression out. Boom. All right, go back down here. God, so much stuff. Ah, more roots, more roots. Like the 20th root. I mean, this is so contrived. Yeah, I don't know why it was giving me so many dang things. Probably, oh, look, it's waving, it's waving, yay. Okay. Sorry, I'm very easily entertained by wavy things. And shinies. Doesn't like shinies. Such a bad influence. Can't bring me anywhere. Is it really just, it's the 20th root? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, okay, I need the 19th root. That's obviously going to make everything much better. Yes, solution 19. Oh, not that enter. That enter. Shift enter. One of those. All right. And it gives the correct positive output. Okay. And again, we have to note that it gives positive and negative answers, and occasionally it'll give you 15 negative answers in a row. Again, I'm not pretending like I could do this without this technology, but I mean, I occasionally was it in studying calculus. There's some, no, not calculus. It's a science class junior year of studying business. It's like, you solve this expression. I stayed up all night. I wrote my own formula. I got the answer. And then the professor next morning was like, yeah, there was no actual answer to this question. I'm assigning a different problem for homework for the next day. I stayed up all night figuring out a solution that I didn't need to figure out. Oh, or that didn't exist. And again, it was just infinite test. It was basically perturbation. It's like adjust this here, kind of. And there was another thing where I saw an elementary expression in some investments class, and it's like, all right, I thought they were asking a much more complex question, so I invented my own thing. And the professor's like, no, no, it's just this. I'm like, that's obvious. It didn't seem like a problem at all. So I don't know, just a weirdo. Okay, so long story short, we're essentially doing the same thing because Big G actually has a Planck mass in, and when you cancel it out with h bar and the speed of light, bada boom, bada bing. Okay, get that. Ninja this guy. And our expression there. Hidden. Cool. Beautiful. Dave. All right. Go back over here. All right. So it's equal to 1. And again. 20. Use this. Again. Save. Oh, we're just using the gravitational thing, so it's factor. And again, 2.23 0 times 10 raised to the minus 25 kilograms squared. Yeah, why it didn't give me a slack. Put that dude.
There we go. All right, I apologies. No, I thought one was still gonna work. My AirPods were when one conked out, they both just disconnected. So apologies about that, but you didn't miss much. That's basically I just wrote what was on screen here. So yeah, it's basically again we're relating to Planck mass because big G is equivalent to h bar c. Um, just got to factor the Planck mass in it. So we'll go over that I think tomorrow. Other than that, hey, thank you all for popping by. Thank you everybody for the comments, the critique, thoughts about what may or may not actually be going on. But that's all about what we got for now. So take care, everybody. Peace out. It's a wacky and wild world out there, but here's hoping for a better tomorrow. So let's exit out of that. Close the notebook. All right. I'll get this up in the description below for anyone that wants to check it out. And until next time, adios, my friends. Take care. We'll see ya.